Good evening. Happy Sunday. We're going to get started here in just a minute. Thanks for being here early, guys. Got a really cool show tonight. Thanks again. Okay. Thank you for joining us tonight, guys. Quite a few people in the chat there. We're going to get switched over. Our show's 7 o'clock in Texas, so good evening to all. Thank you for being here once again. And a special shout-out to folks in green text in the chat, YouTube channel members. I saw Ed AC3IK in there. Big Bad Trucker was in there first. I think he said, see y'all in 4 hours. So I guess, I don't know. Maybe YouTube's keeping chats longer than they used to. I don't know. Wayne, W5WNR. Frank, KG6NLW. Good evening. Anthony, N6RAP. Ed, AC3IK. Good evening. How you guys doing? Saw Freddie Mac in there. Ham Radio Crusader. Let's see. I see Izzo in there. Good evening. Glenn, thank you for the super chat, buddy. Glenn usually kicks us off with the super chats in there. Jeff, AA4BC, good evening. Don, N5SKT, I see you in there. Thanks for being here. Kyle's in the chat tonight as well. Kyle is graciously agreed to be my co-host tonight because Frank had something come up at the last minute, so he tells me. I don't know. He didn't tell me what it was, but I know he did his own live stream earlier tonight. So, guys, we're going to be talking about the Moore Expo tonight, which is an incredibly cool show. I got Chris, the CEO and founder of the Moore Expo. He has joined us tonight and going to be talking to us about this Overland event that is that's in Springfield, Missouri. This will be my 4th year to attend that event. And it's not the largest Overland show I've ever been to, but it is one of the most fun, partially because it's closer to me than anything else. It's only a 6-hour drive, and if you live in Texas, 6 hours is not very far away at all. But 1 week from today, I got to make sure I get the right screen up here. Yeah, right there. 1 week from today, we will be doing the March giveaway. It'll be April. We're going to give away you guys have all of March to sign up for this. Giving away a brand new IC7300. The link I will put in the chat here in just a second. It is hamradio2.com/March25. And I think we've got about 1,800 people signed up so far. So you guys got another week to get your signups in on that. So go out there and check that out. And immediately following this live stream, I am starting a brand new series on my Unplugged channel, my Overlanding /RV channel. And I'm bringing on Kyle, T.O., Traveling Ham, Bill, maybe a couple other people. And we're just going to do it like an RV fireside chat. In fact, I don't know what I'm going to name this yet. I'm going to poll the audience when we go over there. I'm going to say, hey, give us a name. We're going to do a video podcast about once a month. It's going to be uploaded to all the podcasting services, but it's going to be live streamed on YouTube first. So you guys be ready for that, and I'll share in fact, I'll put the link in that. Mike, I hope you're joking, dude. At Traveling Hams in there. That's tonight? Yeah, it's tonight, buddy. About an hour and 15 minutes from now, something like that. So hopefully you're prepared. If you're not, hey, man, we'll catch you next time. It's not a big deal. I know T.O.'s prepared because I've been emailing with him. So, but yeah, that's tonight. So we're gonna spin that up as soon as this one's done. But let's bring Chris and Kyle into his. And I just realized that you two together are Chris Kyle.
Oh yeah,
one of my heroes there. So
yeah,
what's going on, guys? How are y'all?
Good to be on. Thanks for having me.
Thanks, man. I appreciate you taking the time out, Chris. I know that you're really busy right now, and I appreciate you taking an hour or so out of your weekend to come hang out with us. So we're looking forward to this, and I think you are too. So appreciate you being here.
Yeah, no doubt. Cheers. Always a good time to see you. Love seeing you guys at the expo and all the cool, fun equipment with the podcast setup and everything. So yeah, 4 years of you guys coming in. So welcome back.
It's my 4th year. The first year I was there, I texted Kyle and I'm like, hey, I'm going to this show in Missouri, and he lives in St. Louis. I thought St. Louis was closer to Springfield, but what do I know? And because it took me 6 hours to get there from Texas, it took him 3 hours to get there from inside of Missouri. I'm like, there's no other state in the union that's as big as Texas. You can't, 3 hours to get there. That's ridiculous, but that's what it was apparently.
It is 3 hours.
Yeah, but you stayed in a hotel room that first year, Kyle, and then you've camped with us ever since then. So
yeah, well, Chris, wasn't it earlier in the year? Like, it's gotten later and later in the year in the last, like, at least 3 years. I remember it being the first, maybe the weekend, or maybe the last weekend of March, like 4 years ago, maybe.
So we started the first 2 years. So Moore Expo 2020 and 2021, we were in February.
Yeah.
It was always the second weekend of February. And in the expo camping world, that's expo season.
Yeah.
That's when you see all the boat shows and RV shows and things like that. So we wanted to land Moore Expo within that, figuring that it would always just be an indoor event. Boy, were we wrong. So 2021, we had a bad ice storm, and you guys remember this, especially down in Texas.
Oh yeah, that was our Texas Snowmageddon year. That's right. Yeah, so you guys got it up there too?
It was below -10 just about the entire time. We had a
terrible
quarter-inch of ice on the ground and then a couple inches of snow on top of it. We still had a great turnout. People didn't seem to mind coming in, but we had to, that was the year we had to shut down S'more to More because the roads were so dangerous, icy. That was painful to pull the plug on that. And
so I'm going to have you explain what that is here in a second. I know what it is, but the audience may not. But go ahead. Keep going.
It was also just coming off of COVID, and the only way that we were allowed to have the event was if there was a mask mandate, which was awful.
Yeah.
I was doing what I had to make sure the event didn't get shut down. And man, the "don't shoot the messenger" could not have been said more times.
Oh gosh.
Hey, I am sorry guys, but yeah, we've got to at least ask that you do it. So yeah, it was tough. We'll never have to do that again, fortunately. So
hopefully not. Well, I was at the way I heard about Moore Expo the first time is I kind of got into overlanding during this whole COVID shutdown and everyone's buying RVs and hitting the road type thing. And I had been doing some research on YouTube, and I came across this. I came across a video or maybe a playlist. It was about ham radio overlanding. I'm like, well, what is that? And I had to go look it up. I'm like, okay, this is my world. I never called it that before, but this is kind of what I've always liked to do, camping outdoors and everything. I grew up hunting and fishing, camping, whatnot. But I was at the Overland Expo East in Virginia in 2021, which was in October of 2021. I drove out there with a ham radio retailer out of Alabama, and we went out there and they got a booth, and they were trying to get into the overlanding world. And someone at that show, I don't remember who it was, someone at that show was telling me about the Moore Expo, and they were telling me, in fact, it might have been my buddy Wes, but 3 Alarm Overland, it might have been him. He said that they give ham radio tests and classes at the Moore Expo, and I'm like, well, where is that? And it was in Springfield, Missouri, and I'm like, oh, that's only 6 hours away, so I got to go to that. Well, it turns out that information was, I mean, y'all, as far as I know, y'all never gave ham radio classes.
We did.
Did you? Okay. So you haven't done that since I've been there, although I have given a talk about, differences between GMRS, CB, and ham radio a couple times the last 3 years. But okay, so tell us about that. So you actually used to give, was it ham radio testing, or what did you do exactly?
It was testing preparation. It was
Okay.
kind of pre-testing,
Hmm.
and I think they were maybe 2 hour kind of breakout courses. Geez,
Okay.
I believe that was 2021 that we did that. And we'd always be willing to do that again. I thought it was super awesome. It's just a
Hmm.
matter of, somebody jumping up and saying, "Hey, we want to do this," and then
Right.
like, yeah, bring it in.
Right.
And I don't guess that we haven't had anybody offer to do that since then, but.
Who did it for you that in 2021? Do you remember?
Oh, I wish I could remember. No, I'm not certain.
Okay.
I
All
don't.
right.
It could have been the Nixa Amateur Radio Club.
Oh, okay.
I'm not certain who it was that jumped in and did that, but love
Okay.
to have that. That was super
Hmm.
rad. Just having you guys out, Nixa and Alpha Antenna and those guys out
Hmm.
front. That's super cool for me to have there. So always happy to get what I can.
Yeah, Alpha Antenna, they were there last year. I think that was their first time, wasn't it?
Yep.
Well, but that's the first time I ever heard about Moore Expo. So I attended in 2022, and here's something else I wanted to talk about. I reserved a campsite in 2022, and I just slept in my truck. And when I got there on Thursday night, I remember it was dark. I pulled in to the back gate, and there was like maybe 10 people in the campsite. And I pull in and I check in and whatnot, and they've got my information. They're like, "Well, where do you want to park?" And I'm like, "I don't care." They're like, "Do you want RV hookups?" I said, "Sure, why not?" And I parked over there. And then so I'm telling these guys about it, I was like, "Oh yeah, there's plenty of camping. Don't worry about it. There's plenty of camping." And I got there, and we got there in 2020. That was 2022. In 2023, like 3 or 4 of us show up, and it is full. I'm like, oh my God, what happened? I was like, there was no one camping here in 2022. And apparently there's some other event that happens. I can't remember there was some kind of conflict that Saturday. You were talking about the date earlier. And I think maybe a little bit of this, correct me if I'm wrong, is because Easter moves around every year anyway.
That's that's why we're on the weekend that we are this year
Okay.
because
Yeah.
of Easter.
Right.
Next year we'll bump back up in the calendar to like the 17th.
Okay.
But behind the scenes info, what happened, what the difference in camping there was, I never I never thought that the event would grow enough to for it to be worthwhile to open the campground.
Really.
I was always thinking it's going to be an expo, like come in during the day, trade show, and then go do whatever. So it's just grown over the years. But the first 3 years, we we always just suggested, and we still do, suggested camping out at S'more, Southern Missouri Off-Road Ranch.
Yes.
Um, and then the year that you came in and there were just a couple people down there,
Hmm.
S'more, we actually sold out the park down there.
Mm.
They had maybe 500 rigs down there camping.
Hmm.
He called me 2 weeks before and said, "Please stop sending people our way. We are busting at the seams. I don't know what we're gonna do."
Oh my goodness.
So then I said, "All right, that's fine." I got with the fairgrounds. I said, "Hey, what's it take to just have somebody down there for camping?" And they said, "Well, there's a minimum of 10. You got to rent 10 spaces, and then we'll provide a security guy and we'll put somebody down there to manage it."
Okay.
So they did. It was just the fairgrounds staff. Moore Expo really had nothing to do with it. And
Mm.
that was when the hot water wasn't working in the bathroom.
Yeah.
Like half of them weren't
Yeah.
even open. And then Cindy Pope from Northology, she does some amazing events up north, but she
Hmm.
she had camped that year too, and she's a friend. She calls me and she goes, "No, nope, nope, no way, not up to Moore Expo standards whatsoever. Like this is
Hmm.
absolutely awful. I'm taking this over, Chris. I was like,
Oh
okay.
gosh. Well.
So she jumped in with her crew from the Northology crew. She's got some really great
Mm,
homies up there, and ever since then it's been fantastic. But
mm,
that's when we truly opened camping, and you could actually buy tickets on the Moore Expo website instead of calling
mm.
grounds and doing that. So we
Gotcha.
paid to rent that extra bit of land and fully manage it now. So.
Well, I mean, having overland people offering them a place to camp should always be like, I mean, kind of like a no-brainer, right? I mean, it shouldn't surprise you much, I guess, that
Yep.
people want to camp there.
Yeah.
And it's actually, it's hot in Texas during that time of year, but we go up there and it's like it can get kind of chilly at night. We were around the
Well,
propane campfire last year, and that was nice and pleasant, but only with the campfire going.
Yeah, that's the year that we Shane came up. We camped on the hill, right?
No, that was 2 years ago. So that was you, me, and Shane that year. Last year was the year that my brother was there, and we
Right.
were in my gazebo.
Yeah, right. I'm
Yeah.
trying to think of the year that we camped. That was after I got the hotel room, and we all decided that
Right.
we were going to camp. But yeah, we went from there'll be plenty of space to
Yes.
an oh crap moment.
Yeah, because we
rolled-
got there.
We rolled
Yeah.
in there late, and we're like, there not going to be
Mhm.
anybody there. There was like
Mhm.
maybe 20 people there last year, and then we
Right.
roll in, and we're just like, oh, we misjudged this by a mile.
We got this wrong. Yeah, because we had to camp on the hill. So our
Yeah, that was-
our tents were all at an angle, and we're like,
Right.
well, okay. Well, I mean, we'll handle it, but
Yeah.
and it was fine. But that's why we got there so early last year, and we had a really good time getting there, getting the VIP passes and getting there early. And we all met at the Walmart up the street in the parking lot, and then drove in together. So that's what we're planning on doing again this year. But it's a fun event. We had a lot of fun last year, and I'm glad that we can do this live stream with you, Chris, this year to try to get more ham radio operators interested in coming to this event and making it even bigger than it has been. So, because it's well worth it in my opinion.
Yeah.
Nice. I appreciate that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Camping gets better every year. We've
Yeah.
got, now we went from having no hot water in the showers and 20 people. Now we have staff on golf carts shuttling you back and forth, and
Yeah.
24-hour staff down there and all that. So actually, as a matter of fact, they're introducing a swap meet down there this year.
In the campground?
In the campground, yeah.
Really? Okay.
Little flea market
I was
action.
going to say this is becoming more and more like a ham fest every time we turn around. My goodness. Okay.
It'll
right.
run Saturday, some morning hours. I'm not exactly sure. I believe it's
Okay.
probably somewhere around like 9 to 11 or something like that. But it'll be up in that big metal central building down in the campground. So that'll be sweet.
Oh,
Good.
where Hiker used to rent that out. That's where it's going to be.
Yep.
Gotcha.
We'll put it in there
Gotcha.
this year. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I heard that Hiker wasn't renting that garage this year. Is that
That's correct.
okay?
Nope, they've got their booth space just indoors.
Okay.
Yeah, I think the one year they rented the building and we did the concert and all that stuff.
Yeah.
That you want to talk about an audio acoustic nightmare?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Put a loud live band in a 150 by 300 metal building with, I mean, if it was completely full of people,
Mhm.
it maybe would have been okay. It was so bad. So we did that one year. Now we do the live music up the hill in an actual building with walls.
Mhm.
But yeah, it's definitely grown significantly.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's yeah, it has. I mean, just since I've been there, it has. So
Yeah. I got to thinking, it occurred to me, if I wouldn't have gone to the Moore Expo a couple of years ago, I probably would not have had purchased a hiker trailer. Because whenever
Well, there you
I
go.
rolled through I guess Hiker might have rented that pavilion 2 years in a row, maybe?
Yep.
I believe. Yeah, I believe. In fact, I don't remember if they were there the first year, but I'm pretty sure they've done it every year that I've been there.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think up until this last year,
Right.
first we had the party up there, and then
Right.
we decided not to do the concert and all that stuff in there. But then they
Yeah.
still wanted the building for their hiker trailer owners to come in
Yeah.
and park, so they
Yeah.
they paid to get the building opened up for that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I was walking around, and every single person that I talked to that owned a hiker trailer was either they were ecstatic over it, and then they were like also just talking about the customer service that hiker provides. And I was looking for a trailer, an RV, and I didn't want to get a big, huge RV, but also, these overlanding trailers, some of them start at a very high cost, and my entry into the hobby was not at that level. So I gravitated towards the hiker trailer, and
Hmm.
I was just like, you know what, I'm gonna do this, and I kept talking about it and talking about it,
Hmm.
and finally, I had a friend who was just like, I'm tired of you talking about this, and actually, he's my stockbroker. He literally took money out of my account, was just like, I'm sending you a check right now, you go buy it, and so I went and put a down payment on it, and the rest is history.
I've told my wife several times. I haven't seen her in the chat tonight. I hope she's listening. But I told her the story about how we went to rendezvous. Kyle and I went to rendezvous together last year. We went to Yellowstone together last year, and of course he had his hiker at the Moore Expo last year too. And it seems like everywhere he goes, the hiker is like it's like driving a Ferrari. You have people come up to you. Oh, you have a hiker? Wow. And people want to talk about it. And I told my wife, I was like, I got to buy a hiker because it's a tool to make videos about, honey. I mean, I got an RV channel, so I need to buy a hiker because everybody wants to see videos about hiker, and which is it's not untrue. That's a true statement because Kyle does very good on his hiker videos on his other channel too. So I think it is definitely a close knit community of hiker owners out there, and which is really cool to see, honestly.
Yeah, every time well, not every time, but there's been plenty of times where I pull up, and I would assume that this is like this for any overlanding trailer because they just look cool. They don't look like a regular trailer, right? Or a regular
Right.
RV. And I pull up to a fuel pump, and there's usually somebody that's, doing one of these things. They're pointing, and I'm like, they're talking about me. They're talking about the trailer. And then you get the few that come over and say, what in the F is that?
Well,
I've
that's great.
always had, yeah, I remember my dad told me when I was choosing my first vehicle, I just turned 15, I was just getting my first ride, and he's like, always make sure you have something that's cool enough somebody would walk up to you at a gas station to ask
Yes.
about it. And I always have, between the old classic cars or the big off-road rigs or whatever it may be, it's like, man, you're just not going to see me in a Camry.
Oh no, totally. Yeah, my wife and I got married, and we swore to one another we'd never buy a minivan, and we never have. We've never had a minivan, so yeah, or a Camry. So same way, same thing.
Yeah. Oh.
Well, Chris, real quick, tell us. So we kind of glossed over the whole S'more to More thing. So tell us a little bit about that. I did find their website here.
Yeah.
And
so S'more to More has evolved and changed quite a bit over the years. Originally, it was a way to link the Southern Missouri Off-Road Ranch to Moore Expo. So we had guided trail runs at first, and they'd take you through some national forests, but S'more is about 50 minutes away, so it became a 4-hour drive through the national forest, and it was a lot more fun that way. So the first year it was like 3 guided trips to and from. Second year, same deal. Actually, I think the second year was the year that we had to cancel because of the ice. And then third year, that's what we were going to do, was just keep going the way it was. But we had pre-registrations, insane amount of pre-registrations. This is when Midland Radio started sponsoring it.
Oh,
And it was just going nuts. So like, all right, we need to change this and make it not a guided run. If it got any larger, we were going to be talking about police escorts and shutting
Oh
down
wow,
highways and all kinds of
goodness.
things. So,
Okay.
so actually, what we did, and this is what it's grown to now, but man, has it evolved. So we created a rally book, which is a true, legit
Oh wow.
turn by turn rally book.
Hmm.
And you'd go through this, like this one's got 46 waypoints. Waypoints are, you know,
Hmm.
turn left or, pavement to gravel transition or whatever it may be. So we did that. Let's see, 2023 and 2024
Hmm.
with the rally books. In doing that, we have run out of roads to go because we want to make it new every year, right? And there's only so many back roads
Yeah.
you can connect between the two.
Hmm.
And Midland wanted to make it bigger this year.
Mm.
So now what we're doing is we've completely changed the name of it. The branding's all different. Now it is the Midwest Discovery Route. And instead of just going from S'more to the Moore Expo or back and forth, now you can jump on this from
Hmm.
just about anywhere in the United States and ride it into the expo.
Mm.
So we have got, let's see, we've got a route that goes from Kansas City. That's our northern route. Our western route is Tulsa coming in.
Okay.
We have got a route that comes from St. Louis, right out of Kyle's backyard.
Hmm.
And we have got the Little Rock, Arkansas. Actually, truly starts in Conway, but Little Rock to
Hmm.
Moore Expo. So each of the routes now, you still get the rally book. Now we actually mail it to you ahead
Hmm.
of time, so that way you don't have to come to the expo and get it. You get it at your house, and then you can use it to get you into Springfield. Each of the routes are about 300 miles, so it's a 2 day trip. Um,
What
Hmm.
day does it start on? Does it start on Monday?
it starts, so that's the beauty of it is you can jump in. You've got the book, you can go whenever you
Oh,
want.
okay, gotcha. So
Yeah.
there's a
Oh,
is there
you
like an
just meet them there.
organized? Yeah, is there an organized like, the so the St. Louis one starts in Eureka,
Yep.
and is it like, are there people or online or are coordinating to say, "Hey, we're going to start if you want to meet up, we're going to have a big meetup on Tuesday afternoon and we're going to head out." Like, is there something like that, or is it all kind of on your own?
There are some groups that are doing that,
Okay.
but they're doing it completely on their own.
Yeah,
So
okay, gotcha.
we're sending the book out and just kind of letting everybody run with it. But I think like
Hmm.
Midwest Crawlers Jeep Club up here out of Kansas City, I think they've got a group of 8 or 10 that are running the Kansas City route.
Gotcha.
There's a couple groups from down in the Arkansas area that are running the Little Rock route, and yeah, actually all of them. So um,
Hmm.
they all follow a bunch of rivers. They all have at least two caves that you can go in and tour.
Wow.
They've all got campgrounds along the way. The Tulsa route actually has a cave that you can drive your vehicle up into.
Oh wow.
Tulsa's I say fairly close. It's out of all those you named, it's the closest one to me. It's only like 3.5 hours. I would totally do that. I didn't know that they had changed it up like that. I didn't get to. I need to get on their mailing list or something and get updates a little bit more frequently on that. But that sounds like a
It's
great
cool.
expansion, a great a buddy of mine, Justin. He's I met him at the Moore Expo a few years ago. He's a ham radio guy that watched my channel before that. And he and I have done several things together since then. But he said he did that Sworn to Moore drive 2 years in a row. It might have been like 21 and 22, and he said it was the same thing each time. So it's good to see that they're growing it and expanding. That's really
Yeah,
exciting.
massive growth.
Hmm.
And I, with the help of a very smart gentleman that knows every back road in the Midwest, him and I went out and pre-ran and collected the GPX files on these so we can make the rally books. We did all 4 of them in 40 days, just so that way we had to get them all done. It was, man, it was just go, go, go. We got to get these rally books done. So we start mailing them out on the 5th. But we collectively, like, just down and back and down and back. We ran 2,000 miles each on our trucks, like,
jeez,
massive amounts of fuel, but it's so much fun. Like, if you're or anything like that, you can just take your time. It's 2 days. You can make it 3. You can make it a 5-day trip if you want. Like, if you're coming in on the St. Louis route, stop at Merrimack State Park, camp, do a little trout fishing, go out and explore some areas, and then when you get back on the road, just boom, hit your odometer, and you're good to go. That's how you navigate through it. Is when you take a right turn on 65, you know that in 13.49 miles, you've got a trivia question coming up, and then in another 3.37 miles, you're bearing right. That's kind of how it works. And then we do odometer reset.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
How many of them are actually in you said something about going through a national forest on some of them. How many of them do that?
The Arkansas route goes through the Ozark National Forest.
Okay.
I'm sure the Missouri route goes through the Mark Twain National Forest.
It touches into it a bit. It's mostly scenic back roads though. Like we try to find cool things along the way to stop at and check out, and it's just supposed to be an easy riding, relaxing back road, country cruising kind of route. So you drive through so many small towns, stop and grab a cheeseburger, whatever it may be, and keep rolling. So it's designed just to be a leisure way to come into the expo.
Do you, so after that route is discovered, or you guys, create the route, or maybe the route is already discovered, do you guys make that available? Is that the route every single year? I think I heard that it's a new route, right? Every year.
It'll be a new route every year. We'll always have an Oklahoma start. We'll always have a Arkansas, a Missouri, then one from the east, and they'll always kind of start around the same cities. But the nice thing is we're talking 300 miles. You can completely change it. Just with a couple different turns. The cool thing about this though is, and I was just up at Midland visiting with them. We are excited that we're going to be able to take this and run with it. We kind of want to grow farther and farther and farther, and make them not so much like, Tulsa to Springfield, Missouri, but here's a really great 3-day route. And then Midland will create the badges for it, kind of similar to the Jeep Badge of Honor. Or similar to the All Roads Taken badges as well.
I was wondering, so I was going to bring up All Roads Taken here in a minute, because I met those guys at the first Moore Expo I came to, and they've got some cool stuff. If you guys haven't seen this All Roads Taken, they make these what they call adventure badges, and they have all of the national parks. There's one for Yellowstone. They have, when I first met them, I asked them about the state parks, and they said, we're working on that. And I think they're just about done. I don't know if they have all 50 states, but they have most of the state parks in Texas. I got one for Montesano State Park in Alabama. I got one for the Florida State Park we went to for the Toads meetup at Hamcation. So I'm not sure if they're 100% done yet, but they are that's a cool thing. So I reached out to these guys on a side note, and I contacted them, and I contacted Hamvention, and I'm like, I want to do an adventure badge for Hamvention 2025, and I've been working on that for about 3 months, and I got that finalized and completed and approved and everything just about 2 weeks ago. So we're going to have one for Hamvention 2025. So you guys stay tuned on that. I'll talk more about that later. But I picked up the Moore Expo has one. This Moore Expo 2023, 2024. I assume you'll have one again this year.
Oh yeah, they'll have a Moore badge.
Yeah, so I've got the Moore badge from all the ones that I've been to. But you know, Montesano State Park right here, you've got the little badge, and what it is, it's a little plastic type badge thing that's got this really good 3M adhesive on the back of it, and you stick it. A lot of people stick it to the side of their van or their RV, or maybe their. I got some stuck on my roof rack, my front runner roof rack. And I mean, you can put them anywhere you want to. Most people put them on their vehicle, but you don't have to do that. You just stick it anywhere you want to. So it's I thought it was a cool thing to have. I thought that is pretty. It's kind of like leaving your mark. Yes, I was here at this time. You can even put your date on it if you want to. But just a little side. I'm glad you mentioned those, Chris, because I was going to try to segue into that at some point. But they're a good group of people. I've emailed with them a bunch, and they've been always responsive to my emails.
Yeah, I love it. As a matter of fact, I was waiting. I got my camper done, and I've just been waiting on putting these up. But
there you go.
I think I have 10 sitting in my my desk drawer right here.
There you go. Yep.
And then I need to jump on and probably round it out and grab a bunch more, so that way I can get my little grid of badges going on the side of the camper.
Totally. I ordered some. My wife and I are actually leaving on vacation tomorrow. We're driving to Big Bend National Park. We're going to stay there for a few nights. Then we're going to hit Guadalupe National Park and Carlsbad Caverns in New Mexico, and then come home. So I ordered those 3 badges just earlier today.
Nice.
And I'm going to put those on my. I actually got a new RV recently, and I'll talk about that later. But yeah, it's there. I thought they were neat. I thought, some people think, oh, well, who cares? I liked them. I really thought they were cool.
Yeah, it's just it's a nice little memory. Something that I do when I go on trips like that is I always try to find I don't buy original artwork, but I try to get like a print. And honestly, like postcards are great a lot of times.
Yes.
Like, here's one. I was just in Chicago. I'm like, so.
Oh, that's cool. Okay.
In my office, I wait until I have a stack, and then I go to Hobby Lobby, and I'm like, here, frame all these for me.
That's a good idea.
And then I hang them all around my office. So I've just got, I've got West Virginia and the Grand Canyon and, Vegas and all of those places that I've camped in. So
that's great.
Yeah, it's always fun to collect a little keepsake.
Well, give us a high-level overview, Chris, if you don't mind, about because a couple of people were asking in the chat, and I think I answered this already. They said, is the show 1 day or 2 days? And of course, it's Friday and Saturday, and people will camp. So the VIP camping. Correct me if I'm wrong on any of this. The VIP camping, if you get a VIP ticket, you get to come in Wednesday evening, and then regular camping opens up on Thursday. And then Friday, Saturday is the show, and most people stay Saturday night. They camp Saturday night, and they pack and go home on Sunday. Is that kind of the general schedule of things?
Yep, that is the general schedule of it. And then if you're a VIP ticket holder, that earns you some additional access into some really amazing, true hands-on recovery classes. So we've got a full schedule. Let's see. This year we have about 50 hours. We haven't launched this yet, so I think
it's not on the website.
We'll release this tomorrow. And
I was looking for that. I was like, when are they going to do the forums?
I got it right here.
Yeah.
It will release tomorrow just on the socials as a PDF or a photo. While the web team is adding them all to the website. So we'll get them out tomorrow. And then, so we've got 2 different styles of classes. There are the in-classroom seminars, which are about 50 minutes long. And then there's the off-road recovery course out back where we bring in 40,000 pounds of shredded tire, rubber mulch, so we can replicate a vehicle getting stuck every time. It's amazing. You pull up,
That's cool.
we've got a barricade with Jersey barriers, and we just fill it. So you drive up, the instructor will just bump the gas and it sinks to the frame every time. We can always replicate a true stuck vehicle without covering everybody in mud. So we have things like that. We have a junk car that will flip over with a forklift, and then they'll instruct on how to upright it. They do high lift jack training, which everybody could use a little bit of, and then some more winching techniques. They've got I think they do 6 different classes out there each day, and those are 2 hour, hour and a half to 2 hour classes.
Nice.
So VIP tickets get you access to them.
Okay.
And they also get you access to the concert that we have Friday night. We do a after party. I always bring in whichever band was the favorite of the Big Iron Overland Rally. We bring back to Moore Expo as an encore show, and then VIP tickets will get you into that as well. And then some discounts on merch and stuff like that. But the biggest things from that are the hands-on recovery courses, after party, and early access to camping.
Okay. So last year, Tim, Great Man Poda's in the chat. He's one of the guys who was with us last year. We got there about, I don't know, I think they opened the gates at like 5, or well, they were supposed to open at 5. I think it was a little bit late last year. But
no, we're never late.
What? But there were people like lined up and there. I think we got there at like 4 or 4:30, somewhere in there. And there were people lined up in the parking lot across the street, which is actually a school, last year, and we got in that line. Are you aware of this?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
The question.
Chris is like, yeah.
So we got a couple of side eyes from people pulling out of the school, thinking, "What are these guys doing out here?" So we didn't know how legit that was for us to be parking over there and just lining up on someone else's property. But they never said anything to us, and we weren't there for very long before the gates to the expo opened, and we kind of all just started pulling through.
We're totally doing that again, but I should probably give a call and give my heads up.
I was wondering if you had some sort of agreement with them or something, because I mean, like I said, we got a couple of sideways glances from parents who looked like they were there to pick up their kids, but nobody stopped and said anything to us and told us to get out or anything.
We weren't blocking the buses, so we were good.
No.
And also it's the glances that you're getting. It's whoa, there's like $6 million worth of amazing, incredible built rigs.
It could be,
Those are the glances that you're getting. But that's the plan. If they tell us otherwise, they'll barricade it. But they do a lot with the fairgrounds. The fairgrounds, does a lot of fundraising for them and stuff. So they have a good relationship, and we definitely can take advantage of that too.
Good deal. Okay. Well, like I said, we show up on Wednesday and get all our stuff set up and camp. Well, this is what we did last year. We're planning to do again this year. So we're gonna set up and get tents set up and whatnot. We're just kind of hang at the campsite Wednesday night, and then Thursday. For those of you talking, KE6GAE was in there earlier, and I think he's part of the what's the local club? Nicto, whatever it is. Nixa.
Yep.
I think he's part of that club, and he said that there were a lot of people, local ham radio guys that are planning on being at the show this year, which is good to see.
That's cool.
But we usually pack up in a couple of vehicles and go hit a POTA on Thursday because the show doesn't really start till Friday.
Correct.
So we'll usually go hit a POTA. We went to some historical trail last year, wasn't it, Kyle?
Yeah, it was a brand new POTA site. It's like the Butterfield Trail, National Historic Trail. So, yeah, we might do that one again. But the great thing about POTA is they're always adding new stuff. So I haven't figured out where we're going to go this year, but we'll hit another POTA somewhere.
Absolutely. That was Freddie Mac's first POTA ever last year.
No, nice.
I'm not familiar with POTA.
So POTA is a fairly new, I say fairly new, it's been around since about 2017. It's called Parks on the Air. It's an acronym for Parks on the Air. We
Okay.
just call it POTA. And it includes national, it started out as a national park thing, and then it expanded through a series of events. It expanded to state parks, historical trails, historical monuments, a lot of wildlife management areas and whatnot. If you go to the website, pota.app, you can look up and see all the places around. It's an excuse to get out into the field, set up a radio, and get on the air is what it is. And it's been incredibly popular to do for the last several years. A lot of people really enjoy it. It's a huge, very fun, very active event inside of amateur radio. And every time we got, generally speaking, when we're going somewhere to overland, we're going somewhere to actually do POTA, but we want to camp and overland and see some driving trails. Kyle and I and a few other guys in the chat drove the Beartooth Highway last year, but we were out there to do Parks on the Air in Yellowstone was kind of the purpose of the trip. But then we stopped and did a bunch of other stuff along the way as well. But yeah, Parks on the Air is what that is. It's a very fun event.
That's awesome. Yeah, I'm on the website right now. I'll look forward to clicking through and kind of checking it out.
In fact, when I was talking to the guys at All Roads Taken, that's what I was telling. I was like, "Are you aware of ham radio Parks on the Air?" And they're like, and the lady, she was like, I think I've heard of that. I don't really know what it is, and I explained it to her, and I'm like, all of these guys go out to national and state parks like every day. You can get on the air and hear someone at a park somewhere. And a lot of these guys might like these adventure badges that All Roads Taken is making, because it's like, these are places I've already been. So you're kind of like a memorial keepsake for that. I thought that was really cool.
That is rad. Yeah. I like those badges. They fit into so many different things.
Absolutely. Yeah. Cool. Okay. Well, real quick, I want to know, how many vendors do you have? Because you guys have some outdoor stuff as well. That gated off area, and I think that's kind of grown each year as well. But then you have the main two buildings. It's two, right? It's the main two buildings are filled with vendors, and it's mostly an indoor thing. So how does your vendor list look as compared to last year?
It looks great. The actual count itself is down only because we have disconnected the power sports expansion, and that is moving to Muskogee, Oklahoma.
Mm-hmm.
So Power Sports Expo, we're completely transplanting that. But as far as the vendor list for Moore Expo proper goes, is the floor plan's spit and image of last year. We haven't changed the floor plan at all. So we have it's 105,000 square feet indoors. And then I believe the outdoor vendor space consumes or occupies somewhere around 250,000 square feet.
Wow.
And, it's same floor plan as last year, but the transition of vendors, we've always got, I'd say typically across every year, we have about 70% retention. So, 70% of them are the ones you've all came to know and love and can't wait to go see again. And then 30% of them are new. Like there's Cobra, they're new. Deep Sleep, they're new. Let's see who else. But yeah, Cavalry is coming in. We've got some new stuff for the kids. We've got, I don't know. I'm impulsive and I bought 6 Power Wheels cars. So,
okay.
So I bought 6 Power Wheels cars, and then I called my friends at Lithium Battery Power and said, "Hey, I already bought the cars, but I have this really cool idea. I need 6 30 amp hour lithium batteries for these things." So Lithium's like, yeah. And so we loaded them up. So now all of them have 40 amp hours of battery. So these kids' Power Wheels cars will just run all day.
Forever,
Yeah, we've got a 40 by 40 set out there where they can run with them, which would be pretty cool. But yeah, like Oris, that's kind of a Scottle type cooking device. They're new. Overland Defense is new. Onward Supplies are really cool. like backseat organizer kit.
Oh, okay.
They're coming in all the way from Oregon. We've got vendors from all over the world. I don't have a true count on it this year, but last year it was more than 10 countries represented.
Wow.
Uh,
I've noticed that every year I've been there. I was like, there's vendors like from all over the country.
mhm.
Like as far away as way on the West Coast and whatnot. So
Yeah, anywhere
definitely,
between Maine and Southern California.
yeah.
And some new ones that are cool, like Vaultec safes. If anybody's into shooting sports, like
Mm,
these are the biometric safes.
yes.
Those are super cool, and they've got some kits where
Okay.
they mount to your vehicles. The other one is Silencer Central. So anybody that's into again shooting sports,
Okay.
Silencer Central will be there, and they're taking orders. And I think they told me, yeah, by the time the people get home, there'll be a package getting ready to show up.
Nice. Very
Uh,
cool.
so yeah, tons of stuff like that. Six Elements,
Hmm.
they do some cool brackets and some engine tunes, and
Hmm.
we've got
Zero Breeze. They're from Texas.
yeah, Zero Breeze.
Hmm.
We've got a great group of three different veterans groups that are coming together.
Oh,
Uh,
good.
and they
Good.
always do, these are three different groups that help get veterans out camping and stuff like that. They just kind of help
Hmm.
make it easy to transition into the overland space. But we put all three of them together this year. So they're they told me they're trying to figure out working with the National Guard, see if they can get static display in. I said bring a helicopter. I don't know.
Nice.
Yeah, Free State Machining, dude, makes some awesome knives. So we got a couple
Okay.
knife dealers.
Okay.
Garmin as usual, but yeah, so many good
Hmm.
ones.
Yeah. Devos. I've talked about Devos a lot on my channel. They make some really cool outdoor lighting.
Yep.
CB Adventure Supply. They're over here. They're about a half hour from where I live.
Oh, yeah.
Out here in North Texas. Yeah. Those guys are cool.
They're one of the
Um,
largest vendors at Moore
yeah.
Expo.
Yeah.
Square footage wise, they have a
Hmm.
huge space.
Hmm.
Black Rhino Trailers is
Hmm.
so this is cool. They've got this all aluminum dual axle trailer with enough room to park a side by side in the back, or
Hmm.
kayaks, or you could even back into the water and pull a jet ski onto it. Whatever you want to put back
Wow.
there.
Wow.
It's got a platform for a rooftop tent and then drawer storage and stuff.
Hmm.
And they're giving it away at more. So
Really?
Jeez.
Oh, wow.
it's rad. Actually, the new one that they're giving away isn't even launched yet. It's not on the website.
Really? It's not on the website, huh? Wow.
No, I think they've
That's
only
pretty
built
cool.
like 5 of them, but it, I mean, this
That's
has got to
awesome.
be a $15,000 or $20,000 trailer.
I
And
would think.
Friday at 9 a.m.
Hmm.
to Saturday at 5:30 p.m.,
Hmm.
they'll be selling raffle tickets at the booth. So odds are insanely good that you're going to win this thing. And
Hmm.
it's not like a 6-month campaign. And then 100% of the proceeds are going to benefit the scouts.
Oh, okay.
So
Okay.
it'll benefit the Ozarks chapter of Scouts,
Okay.
which is
Okay.
bad. So
Excellent.
Cool.
That's
yeah,
great.
all kinds of good ones in there. Rooftop tents, suspension for huge oversized trucks and camper trailers like crazy.
I've got a list of things that I'm looking for, but
Mhm.
flatted,
Yep.
that does the air toppers, those pump up toppers on the
Oh,
trucks.
yeah. Yes.
I'm buying one of those.
Are
at
you really?
Moore.
Okay.
Yep. Yep.
Okay.
Those things look sweet, and it is exactly what I need. I don't need on my Tacoma. I don't need something that is permanent.
Hmm.
I want something that I can take on and off based on, because I have a tonneau cover, which does perfectly fine now, but I'd just like to have some extra room. And this is a perfect thing for me to air it up, put on the camper, take the tonneau cover off, and put on the truck and get more room in my bed. And I saw that they were going to be at the Moore Expo, and I'm just like, I'm buying one. I'm
It
buying
looks like it can also be a boat.
I was gonna say this guy's using it as a boat. Oh my
Yeah,
God! Look at this
that's-
crap.
That's what I'm going to use it for. I just told
Yeah.
you what I was thinking about
Of
thinking,
course.
but I'm really going to use it for a boat.
We're really going to use it for a boat. Well,
This
mean,
reminds me of the what
The
was
Flex Seal.
The Flex Seal commercial.
yes, yeah, the Flex Seal commercial. That's right.
Yeah, I mean, it's
that
going to
might
be a
be-
kayak. It's going to be a boat. It's going to be a topper. I mean, it's got a million uses. You know, you can eat out of it. You know,
It's a cereal bowl.
it's a cereal. Yeah, it's a cereal bowl.
Those guys
It's a
were
water
on
storage container.
I have to look at that.
Yeah, it
to look
looks like
that-
they've got some bedding for the back. That's rad. They got like a huge launch. They were on Shark Tank, and
Were they? Okay.
yeah, I remember
Okay.
it's probably 3 or 4 years ago they were on Shark Tank, and then I just started seeing it everywhere. So
Yeah.
it's blown up.
Yeah, that's usually how it works.
Well, it looks like a great list. I mean,
Yeah.
there's
it does.
really. I always love scrolling through the list and seeing things that I haven't seen in previous years and be like, oh, that's going to be cool. Like I saw Cobra, you know,
Yeah.
I don't think
Yeah.
Cobra's been there.
No.
So it's going to be interesting to like, you know, get on the old CB and be like, oh, Breaker 19, you know, and
Cobra makes some really cool radar detectors.
they do. Yeah,
I got
they
on
do.
their email list a couple years ago, and yeah, they make radar detectors and stuff like that. It's not just all about CB radio, but yes, yeah, I
in
absolutely.
my mind, it's always about CB
Cobra,
radio.
Cobra 29, buddy, Cobra 29. You gotta love it. So
Cobra is into GMRS now. So
yes,
I would
correct,
assume, yeah.
Mhm,
I would assume.
yeah,
that's their
yeah,
comeback.
that's
Right.
that's good. This is gonna be a fun show. I've been trying, so I want to get Lido mounts and maybe even Bioenno to come to start coming to these shows, Kyle, because
Yeah.
I think they would fit right. Bullet Point mounts, I didn't see them on here. Are they coming back?
No, she can't make it this year.
Okay.
It conflicts with, I believe, some Rebel Rally training or something
Okay.
for her.
Okay.
Yeah.
Really, I bought one of their cell phone holder charger things last year. Love it. Absolutely love it. Very well-made stuff. But there's another guy inside the ham radio world called Lido Mounts. Lido, Lido radio.com is his website. He makes some very good universal mounts for radios, HT radios, cell phones, tablets, you know, the whole 9 yards. And I told him, I was like, you need to start coming to these overlanding shows because people would gobble this stuff up. So I'm trying to work on him with that. But
Oh yeah.
yeah,
I
love
need
for
a
him to-
mount for my mic. It just sits in my lap the whole time and drives me absolutely insane.
yeah, I hate that. Yeah, I hate the microphone in the cup holder or just flopping around. Yeah, that's.
Yeah, I'm hot micing all day.
I know it. Yeah, you sit on it or something.
Everybody's, you stop and everybody's mad. Like, and we didn't want to listen to your stupid music, so we all.
Yeah. There was one question real quick. They want to know what radio is behind you, Chris.
Oh yeah.
What is the HT that you got there?
This is the Midland Radio MB400. This is the reason that Moore Expo operates so smoothly. It's a business channel radio. It operates on GMRS, but it's a business channel, so we don't have any kind of feedback. And actually, we have come up with a pretty cool setup for these. So to run the event properly, we have 30 staff that are all holding one of these.
Right. Yeah.
And when you have everybody on one channel, so say you got parking and operations and ticketing and everybody, this is the quick lesson learned in the first couple hours of us using these. That doesn't work because it's white. Everything becomes white noise.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So we all have the clear ear mics so we can hear. But now we've got it figured out, and we just did a case study for Midland actually on this. But we run I stay on channel 1. Nobody ever really needs to get a hold of me during the event. So if they do need me, I'm on 1, and then it just kind of goes through the chain of command that way. My operations manager Rhino, he's on 2. So if anybody needs him, whether it's parking or ticketing or anything, they can always get right to him. And if he needs them, he can just jump on their channel. So then we do parking on 3, ticketing on 4, and man, it's amazing how smooth that makes operations. And it's funny, I remember one year, it was Rendezvous in the Ozarks.
Mhm.
They were using just FRS, and Midland Radio came as a vendor and gave out probably 100 walkie-talkies to all the kids. Like, just, here's a walkie-talkie. And
And now they can't use FRS anymore.
it shut
Oh my
their
God.
operations
Yeah,
down.
absolutely. Yeah.
What is going on? Like, we cannot communicate at all because there's 9,000 kids on every channel, you know.
Oh my goodness.
So
That's funny.
You've got to go with the business radios on.
Yeah,
But
absolutely.
those
Absolutely.
things actually, they'll reach. So the fairgrounds is 72 acres, and I'm pretty impressed with the range because when we first got them, I had told Midland, hey, I think we might need to set up a repeaters, centrally so we can get all the way around the facility. They said, yeah, no problem. If it looks like we're going to need it, then we'll go ahead and get one in place. Never needed one.
Never needed it.
No, and
That's
that,
cool.
I don't know, probably a mile or so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But even
Good to-
with all the people and buildings and all that stuff, it's amazing how well they work.
That's good.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of radios, let's segue real quick because any of you out there, now this was a challenge I threw down last year, and a couple of you followed it, and some of you didn't. But I'm hoping to have more ham radio operators at the Moore Expo this year. Bring your 2-meter radio and get on 6.52. We need to light up Moore Expo in 6.52 this year.
Yep.
So everyone, make sure that you bring your radio. You want to bring a GMRS radio also. There's some activity GMRS around there. Sure. I'll have probably one of those with me as well. But yeah, let's do some 6.52 activity at Moore Expo this year. If you're planning on coming out, you have a ham radio license, I expect you to be on the air.
Yep.
So
just
Good.
just put your call out and we'll answer you.
right, totally, absolutely.
You don't even have to call out for us.
Nope. There's Wes. What's up, Wes? Glad you make it, buddy. 3-alarm Overland needs to go to the Moore Expo. He says not on the vendor list this year, definitely on list for next year. So there you go.
Nice. Yeah.
Awesome.
Give me a ring.
Good.
We start booking vendor space typically around June for the following year.
Good.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of, okay, Jody, thank you for reminding me about that. Make this year's Moore Expo a Meshtastic Expo. Bill had Meshtastic at the Expo last year, and he was chatting with people, like on his device, and then he'd walk in there, and he met up with them and met 2 or 3 or 4 different people at the Moore Expo last year, and I'm like, shoot, I didn't even bring mine. So yes, bring your Meshtastic stuff as well.
Yeah.
We might try to talk to Robert and have him put up a repeater at the campsite or something, like one of those that he had at Hamcation.
Yeah, we can do that too.
Yeah. So we'll definitely do that. The group of us that are going will probably be on a live stream sometime between now and when Moore Expo actually happens. I just wanted to get Chris on tonight. Tonight worked in for his schedule. So, Chris, I really do appreciate your time, buddy. Thanks for being here, and I really hope you guys have a good show. I hope the weather cooperates more than anything for the campers.
Same. It's that is the nucleus of my heartburn every year. But I mean, there's nothing you can do about it. We just push on, and the event's going to happen. Rain, shines, sleet, or snow, or pandemic. Right. We've been through it all. So, anyway, it happens. We make it a good event. So, I appreciate you guys having me on. It's been a lot of fun. Seeing the hams grow throughout the event is a big deal to me and so many others. So, if you haven't been to Moore Expo before, welcome. Come in, see what a family-owned expo in the Midwest, looks like, and watch it grow over the years. So super excited about it.
Yeah, it's a fun time. It's a fun weekend.
It is. Absolutely is. Absolutely. Well, good. Thank you guys. Thank you everybody for being here in the chat. You guys go check this out. I'm going to share this link one more time. So we're going to shut down this live stream, and then give us like 10 or 15 minutes. I got to get all the connections set up and whatnot, and then we're going live on my RV channel over here for the first ever RV radio, or not RV radio, but RV chat, RV fireside. I don't know what I'm going to call it yet. I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to
Right.
pull the audio. I'm going to reach out to the audience. I'm like, someone come up with a good name for this. So we're going to do a live stream once a month on my other channel about just RV talk. I got 3 guys who are full-time RVers that are going to be with us tonight. And it'll be an audio podcast ripped after the fact too. So Chris, once again, thank you, buddy. Appreciate you being there. I will email you about that other stuff we were talking about, and we can get together on that, but just over email. But I think we kind of hammered out a few things before the show started. But I really appreciate your accommodating us and allowing us to come out there and just make noise and cut up and be loud like we're used to doing when we all get together. So
That's right.
It's a good time.
Good. Well, absolute pleasure, guys. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Thank you very much, guys. Everyone hang out here or check out the link that, did you reshare it, Kyle? Thank you.
I did, yeah.
Yeah. Check out the link that Kyle shared just now and head over there here in a few minutes and we'll see you there. So 73 to all, moreexpo.com is the website. It's in the description already, but I'll make sure to repost it to everything and make plans for that if you can. It's the last weekend of April, weekend after Easter weekend. So you got plenty of time to plan for it. Got a whole month to plan for it. So You guys go check that out. Chris, thank you once again. And we'll see you guys next time. 73 all.
73.
Later.